Hey friends, so we have the moon on. We have a somewhat bookish location. That means it's time for TBR Hopefuls. So we are going into August, which is crazy. On one hand, that's 1 month closer to Halloween. On another hand, what the hell, you know? We have quite a stack of hopefuls that we are going to try to get to in August. A good chunk of them, actually all but 2, are from my physical TBR, which if I can at least try all of these, that'll be great. Because we know that physical TBR is a little bit not great. You know, it could be worse. So first, let's start off with book clubs. So first we have, for one of my horror book clubs, not the in-person one, but the one on Fable, we have Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. This one is a medieval horror. I've heard nothing but great things about this. I don't really even know what this is about. Let's see. Some creepy little girl goes to this dude, and that's all I got from the skimming of the synopsis. Let's see. Thomas, a disgraced knight, has found a young girl alone in a dead Norman village. Spooky. An orphan of the Black Death. And she has an unnerving picture of innocence and tells Thomas that the plague is the only part of a larger cataclysm. Okay. So yeah, I'm sold. I need a spooky little girl in a horror story, especially if it's set in a in a setting that I'm not familiar with, like medieval. So actually, I just got a lot more excited for this one because I did not know it was about a spooky little girl. So yes, I will definitely be reading this. And then for another Fable book club, I have one that I've been putting off for over 2 years at this point. And it is Lies of Locke, Lamora. Oh my gosh. And this one I have started a couple times. And I'm aware that it's good. I just need to actually read it. I think the issue is that it's longer, which I say that while I have 2 big ass books on my other over here. Then I'm like, yeah, I'll read that. I also think it's the mass market paperback. I don't love a mass market paperback. They hurt my little fingies. So if you don't know what this one's about, it's been getting recent attention in the bookish community lately. This one is about a dude that, like, orphan dude in like fantasy-esque world, and he's just a little thief. He's just a little rogue. He has some brothers, a band of brothers called the Gentleman Bastards, and they go around doing cons, but soon he gets interwoven with people that he shouldn't have. And from what I remember when I read part of this, it is very found family-esque. It's very, what do you call it? When we think of Amina Al-Sarafi, when we think of Ocean's 11, where it's kind of like they're doing like some weird stuff, but they're all doing it for the family, and they're like it's funny, it's silly, but it's also serious, you know? So I know I'll like it, I just need to get to it. So yeah. And then the 3 more book club books. And this is like I narrowed down from other book clubs. And then so many. But this one is The Dead Take the A Train by, oh sorry, this is by Scott Lynch. This one is by Cassandra, Khaw, and Richard Cadrey. I've read a couple of Cassandra Khaw's works, did not like them, so I'm hoping this is a little bit different. This one, horror fantasy. I've heard this, yeah, it looks like fans of unhinged eldritch horror, which I do love a good eldritch horror. This one sounds like someone burnt out, going through it. She's trying to work gruesome gigs, exorcising demons, making deals with gods. But then her best friend shows up and is desperate for something. And then she sets up a deadly chain of events that causes some eldritch shit to go on. This has been in my TBR, but very vaguely. I've not heard that much about it. But when my in-person book club wants to read something vaguely on my TBR, I'm gonna try and read it. So, and I'm liking the cover of this one. This one's a little bit interesting. So yeah, I'll take it. And then the last one is another physical, like in-person. This is for my TBR book club, which is like we read books with a prompt to take down our TBR. So this one, the prompt was royalty, whether that is, like I took it to mean just the the title, but apparently it's like, it has to be in the book. Because I have another choice in here that I thought was going to work for it, but I don't think it will. But we have one that I've also been putting off. To be fair, I have soft DNF'd this one just because I wasn't in the mood for it. I am aware that I have read every other one of this person's works and liked them. I'm just scared because everybody loves this one, and that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Now you may be like, Kai, you are queer. How have you not read this? Listen, I don't know what to tell you. Again, I've tried this. I tried it and it was the thing of like, I wasn't in the mood to be reading from like, you know, when it comes to like politics type of shit. I was not in a great headspace. I'm aware that this will probably be good because, if anything, I love a gay romance. This one, if you don't know, there's one mailman character, I think their name is Alex. Yes, Alex. He's the current president's son, and then he meets the king, the prince of Britain's son, Henry, and they fell in love. Now, the thing too is I think I remember starting this and it was like started off with something embarrassing and I had secondhand cringe, but I know that I've grown since then. I am aware that this will work. I also have a lot of the weight of everybody, especially a couple of my friends, are like, you're going to love this. And I'm like, I don't love the expectations set on me of like, you need to read it, you need to read it. And then like, you're going to love it. Because what if I don't? Okay, what if I don't? But I will. So, I don't love this edition either. It's kind of gross. But, another one. And then finally, some picks just because. Actually, one more book club pick. I forgot about it. I don't have it physically, that's why. So, this one I've also soft DNF'd a couple times. And if I don't finish it, that's okay. This one, again, I've read every other one of this author's works, so I should like it. This one is Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. This one is pitched as Rosemary's Baby meets Salem's Lot, which theoretically I should love that. However, I think when I started reading this one not a couple months, like a year or so ago, I was triggered by some fertility stuff and how the person was feeling body-wise. Because I think the mom is like permanently disabled after giving birth, and that's part of it. But I think it's like creepy baby, maybe even something happening to the baby, and the mom is just like literally she can't do anything. I might also be pitching that wrong. I don't have this synopsis in front of me. But this is for my endometriosis Discord. We do a book club. Again, that link is always in the description. But I want to say I'm excited for it, but I also am aware of my triggers, so if I try it, I try it. And then, now that's finally all the book clubs. Now, we have one that I'm actually in the middle of. Not middle. Only like, I can't even say, like 10, 15 pages maybe. Let's see, actually. I'm on page 22, which is not much. This is King Sorrow by Joe Hill. This is the one that I thought was going to work for the royalty prompt because King. And to be fair, it might still, but I don't think that's going to be... I think that the term king will be very, like, some assumed position of power, not actual royalty, which, to be fair, isn't that what all royalty is? But anyways, this one is a wild synopsis, okay? So, as you can tell from the cover, it is about dragons. Now, this one is horror fantasy, kind of. This one is about a dude named Arthur who is, as per usual for all horror, it's about a dude down on his luck, and he meets some people that are not great, and they lost a bunch of money, and they're like, hey, you work for this rare library, because Arthur is a rare collector, he does the inventory for this library, right? The special collections, all the rare shit. And he gets confronted by these people, and they're like, we need $60,000. You need to get us all these rare artifacts or whatever. And he's like, no. But then they like threaten to kill his mom or whatever. And he's like, so of course he has to do it. So, and that's where I'm at in the book. However, it looks like, it turns to, he doesn't want to do it, right? And it turns to them looking into this weird, rare collectible, journal, that's bound in the skin of its author to summon a dragon to do their bidding. And looks like the dragon is the spook. A terrifying bargain in which the six must choose a new sacrifice for King Sorrow. Now let's be real. I don't know if this is going to be a 5-star, right? But I have enjoyed Joe Hill's works in the past. I really liked Fireman. I think that's the one. Now this one feels a little bit outlandish, and I've not heard much about it. But it's on my 26 and 26. It's a chunk. Hopefully I can get through it, you know? The next one is also a chunk. Also holding that up hurt my arm. We have House of Earth and Blood by by Sarah J. Maas, or Maas, or whatever. I don't know. I'm in the mood for this. I keep getting the universe telling me to read this. I've had I've been watching videos where Kendall's been reading this lately. I've gotten weird Instagram shit that's been like, hey, if you like Zootopia, and I'm like, I love Zootopia. And then also, yesterday I was reading a book and it reminded me of ACOTAR, and then I was like, oh, what if I reread ACOTAR? And I was like, girl, that's insane, just read this. Which, to be fair, I have been wanting to reread just A Court of Silver Flames, so I might have to do that before October. But for now, this might be the move. So we'll see. That one, if you don't know what that one's about, I don't either. Let's see. Half fae, half human, of course. Bryce loves her life. Okay. I think, honestly, maybe the first one out of all of these where someone loves their life. Every night is a party. Bryce is going to savor all the pleasures of Crescent City has to offer, but then a brutal murder shakes the very foundation. 2 years later, Bryce still haunts the city's most notorious nightclubs, seeking only oblivion now. Okay, now she's not so happy. Trying to put the past behind her. When the murderer attacks again, an infamous fallen angel, Hunt Athalar, is assigned to watch her every footstep. Bryce knows she can't forget any longer. I know that this one's very mystery coded. I wasn't aware his name was Hunt. I don't know if I like that. But this feels a lot better, I think, than ACOTAR. I don't love a royalty. I'm sorry. But this one could be eating it up. Anyways, the last one that I have right now, I'm sure there's ones that'll come up throughout the month of August. This one I have started, but it's When Things Get Dark by a bunch of people. It's a short story collection inspired by the works of Shirley Jackson. So yeah, I don't know, I can't give you a synopsis other than I need to read an anthology for Perkyed, and I tried to start, I think, The End of the World as We Know It, the collection of Stephen King's, or people's works set in the world of The Stand by Stephen King, and that was a little bit too not what I want right now with the like diarrhea virus going on. Not that I'm scared of the diarrhea virus, but like, I don't know, it's a little bit too close to home. But this one is all short stories, like very, very short. And it has, it has Cassandra Khaw, it has Richard Cadrey, again, Stephen Graham Jones, which I love, John Langan, Shauna McGuire, Josh Mallerman, Carmen Maria Machado, Paul Tremblay, so some good authors. So this one, for the prompt for Hercules, I have to read the anthology, but I also then have to read separate books for up to six authors from this. So whoever I find a book that I want to read from, which I thought if I read this one, I could then read this one. I don't have to do it in that order, but I thought that this one would count for this prompt. Anyways, the stories so far have been good. They've been eerie, they've been creepy, everything that I like from Shirley Jackson. I haven't read all of Shirley Jackson's works, however, I do like the adaptations from Shirley Jackson's works, like all the Netflix ones, and then I have obviously read some of her works. Maybe that'll be my goal for next year, is to read more of her works. All to say, I'm enjoying this. I've never heard of this. I just googled short story collections. Anyways, that's all the hopefuls I have right now. There's probably a lot more that I'll get to eventually throughout the month. Let me see, do a brief look around. I do want to read a thriller eventually, so maybe. maybe the Hidden One, which is like one of the like Amish thrillers. I feel like those are my good like guilty pleasure because they're just so, they're a good thriller, but obviously they're very much a niche interest. And this one I got sent by one of my best friends. Shout out to M. Yeah, that one might be a one. This one, obviously a missing girl. Trying to find where the girl went. Missing persons expert and nomadic loner. Frankie travels the country searching for lost ones on the rest of the world, has forgotten her specialty, cold cases. Kaylee Pearson, the beautiful butcher, confessed at the start. Ooh, so we have a female serial killer. Yes, queen. Okay, we don't love killing people, but we love female rep. Okay, so it sounds like the serial killer has a missing sister and maybe these two interact. My brain is wanting a sapphic story, but that's not what I'm gonna get, and I have to tell myself that. But this sounds interesting. This might be in the stack. Otherwise, we will see. I've been trying to just pick up what I want to read, honestly. And I'm always going to have holds come in from the library. I did get, yesterday I got a hold from Libby, what's it called? Backhanded Compliments. This one is a tennis rivals to lovers sapphic romance. Yeah, I need it. And then I do have, like, I'm doing this now, but I feel like I'm gonna have it go into August, so maybe, I guess it's a hopeful. I don't know what the title's called, but I'll put it up here. Anyways, it's a Tessa Bailey's summer romance one. I haven't read any of Tessa Bailey's works. However, one of my friends said she wanted to read it with me, and I was like, of course. Now there is a chance that one of my friends wants to read Night in the Moth with me, and I am aware that that second book is coming out soon. So maybe I'll have to do that this month. But I do have a billion books. So that is the hopefuls for now. Let me know if you read any of these, if there's any you want me to prioritize, if you want to see these in any videos. Right now I'm doing a little kind of reading challenge, and you'll probably see my wrap up here soon because it is the 27th already, which is crazy. But I do fear we need to be getting more spooky in our reading because it's almost the Burr month. It's almost September, which means it's almost Halloween. So, I mean, obviously in August I consider that too. However, I do need it to be a little bit cooler before I start getting more spooky because it is too hot right now. All to say, happy reading, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.